Iran relations.
Welcome back, and now we are joined over the phone by Ambassador Sou'ad Shalaby, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, Ambassador Sou'ad, as we just heard that high-stakes negotiations between the United States and Iran have failed to produce a breakthrough after Washington presented what it called a final offer, and now the U.S. military said it will begin a blockade of all maritime traffic entering and exiting Iranian ports and coastal areas on Monday. What are the repercussions of this move?
Of course, it is a very dangerous situation, especially that Islamabad has done a great job to bring together the two parties to negotiate in Pakistan face-to-face for 21 hours. Unfortunately, there was no breakthrough, as you said.
Yes.
And both delegations left the capital with no final deal. So it is a dangerous situation because the ceasefire is going to remain fragile, and there has been of course, escalation of the threats between United States and Iran, each saying, each declaring that there will not be peace between in the Gulf, in the Hormuz Gulf, and so the United States, if it plans to block the Strait of Hormuz, it is going to be a disaster for the world because of the economy, because of the high prices of the oil, and because of course it is going to keep the dangerous situation of war coming back to the Strait of Hormuz.
So also, to what extent this failure in negotiations is expected to lead to a wider military escalations in the region?
Of course, the whole world was hoping that diplomacy will prevail, and there will be a continued sessions of negotiations. Of course, the Pakistani Prime Minister, the Pakistani Minister of Foreign Affairs declared that diplomacy never ends, and Iran wants to continue diplomacy because this should be a long process, not a short process, because it will lead to breaking the ceasefire, and it will also affect the maritime security in the region. Of course, as you know, the whole region is being attacked by the United States and Israel, and if negotiations failed, then the war is going to erupt again. And this is a very dangerous situation, whether it is political or economical, for the whole Middle East.
So also, Ambassador Sou'ad, we see that the situation in Lebanon is also not good, and we have the postponement of a high-level diplomatic talks. How do you see the situation there?
Yes, it is, of course, very, very dangerous because Israel is attacking Lebanon since the start of the war, and Lebanon is paying the price of this war. The escalation has been done to civilians. More than 2,000 have been killed, and many houses have been demolished, and Israel has been occupying the Lebanese south of Lebanon they have been occupying the land and claiming that they are destroying Hezbollah, but in fact it is not true. They have a target to occupy south of Lebanon, and of course Lebanon is asking for its sovereignty and its right to negotiate a ceasefire and to stop the war. Since Islamabad was negotiating ceasefire between Iran and the United States, also Lebanon was supposed to be in ceasefire, to apply ceasefire also between Israel and Lebanon, but it was not respected, and both United States and Israel did not respect the ceasefire in Lebanon. So it is a continuous dangerous situation in the southern part of Lebanon.
And what strategic objectives might be driving Israel's military operations, including demolition of villages in southern Lebanon, in southern villages, yes?
Yes, they want to occupy it and turn it into residences for Israelis, just like what they are doing in West Bank and what they did in Gaza. So they are starting another war in order to demolish and to distract and to displace people and to mobilize their armies in these villages in order on the claim that they are destroying Hezbollah, but they have another motive to occupy Lebanon, and this is of course against international law, against all the rule of law and the humanitarian law. So it is humanitarian international law, of course, is against. They are not applying any of the rules, any of the laws, international laws that are applicable since 80 years ago. So we are facing a dangerous situation of expansion of Israel in many Arab countries such as Syria and such as Lebanon and Gaza, of course Palestine, West Bank. So they are building new settlements, and they are in the West Bank, and also they are occupying more land in Lebanon. And this is a very dangerous situation, and has to be faced by all the international, all the United Nations and all the countries in the world have to ask Israel to stop this war in Lebanon.
And how do you read the international community's reaction to this war on Lebanon?
Well, it is not accepted. It is against the international law and against all the laws, the humanitarian international law, against the United Nations resolutions, and every time the Security Council is adjourned, they all take resolutions, but Israel is not accepting to apply any of the resolutions of the Security Council, even though it is unanimous, and there are not one country is accepting that Israel occupies new land in Lebanon. But Israel is not respecting any of these United Nations Security Council resolutions.
Yes. I'd like to thank you, Ambassador Sou'ad Shalaby, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Thank you for being with us, and a short break, and we'll be back, so stay tuned.